I want to believe that he's totally innocent, and I was just really sad. I mean, the programme, I found it quite upsetting, and I've said this before in other interviews, but there was times in the programme when he had like the mayhem and the frenzy of the fans surrounding him, and it reminded me of times that I've had with the Spice Girls. And, you know, of course to a lesser degree, but for 3 years we had that kind of like madness. And he's had it all his life, and he's never ever had any kind of normality, and I thought that was very sad. And of course he's going to have a different outlook, you know, to life, because he hasn't grown up the way that we all have. I think it's terrible. I you know, hope that people don't download CDs, because, you know, there's a huge network of people that work really hard. It's not just me, you know, people just think, oh, Melanie, see her, she's loaded anyway, you know, it doesn't matter if she doesn't sell a few more CDs, but it's putting people out of work, and it's putting people out of work who are on, like, you know, 12 grand a year, 14 grand a year. It's not, you know, just the artist. There's a lot of people involved, and it's stealing, and it's wrong. The media is such a powerful tool that, you know, people like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey are kind of got quite dodgy press at the moment. So I don't know if that has any impact on it. But, you know, two amazing vocalists who've had amazing musical careers, very interesting. Now, when the Spice Girls became very, very successful, I think I was in my early 20s, and I found that very difficult to deal with. And I know everybody handles things differently, and I just think, oh, you know, S Club Juniors, I mean, how old are they? About 10 years old or something? And I just think, you know, if it was difficult for me at 20 odd, I mean, a lot of interviews I have to answer the same questions. You know, I'll tell you what's boring about interviews, because there's a lot of rumours and untruths printed, when you have to keep dispelling the rumours. I find that very boring. Well, actually, at the time of writing Northern Star, it was, you know, I was really battling with a lot of things myself, because, you know, I did have a few personal problems, but it was things that I wanted to sort out myself. So I didn't want to tell anyone, and I didn't want anybody's help. I wanted to be very independent, and so I was kind of hiding a lot of things at that time. As time went on, and I realised I couldn't do it on my own, you know, that's when everything came out, and, you know, and I needed everyone's help. At first I was very naive, because I'd gone into the studio thinking, well, I'm going to have a go, I'm going to do records on my own. I thought I could do something good, but then when, you know, Northern Star was finished, I was like, whoa, I didn't know it would be that good. So I was really, really proud. And I just thought, because I loved it, everyone would love it. Yeah. And I did actually, you know, come up a little bit against people, oh, she's just a Spice Girl, and people weren't ready to accept me as a solo artist. But as the single started to come in, especially with Never Be the Same Again, you know, that went huge, broke the record, and people started changing their minds then. Personally, for me, it was a mistake to do Forever. You know, I don't know how I feel about it affecting the whole band, but personally for me, it was a bad move. I was, you know, very eager to make a third Spice Girls record, and in fact I was, you know, some of the other girls weren't interested in doing it, and I was trying to encourage them to do it. But when I went away and started working on my solo records, I enjoyed it so much, and I realised how I didn't have to deal with other people, you know, and I didn't have to compromise in any way, and it kind of, it just made me feel like I didn't really want to go back. I think it was a number of things really, you know, sparked off by a comment somebody made about my thighs, which I'd never, you know, as a woman, I've never been that comfortable with the size of my thighs, and there was nothing wrong with them, but it just, you know, it inspired me to lose weight, and I learned how to lose weight, and it, you know, and it very quickly became an obsession, and lasted for, I would say, the whole time I was with the Spice Girls. We should have a lot more privacy. As people, not just celebrities, you know, there's lots of, you know, normal people's lives that are exposed in the press. I think it's disgusting. You know, people, I mean, Jude Gold and Sadie Frost, people at the moment going through, who knows what the truth is, but, you know, going through a horrible breakup if we, you know, believe what we read. There's children involved there, you know, it's nobody's business. I'm sure, you know, everybody, you know, feels for them. We're all adults, you know, you know, relationships are hard, and it doesn't need to be plastered all over the press. You know, I'm sure it's not helping anybody. And I do think we should be more protected. And pictures like that, you know, of course, you're out in public. That's the thing, you know, if you're in public, you have your photograph taken, there's nothing you can do. But I'm not comfortable with having my photograph taken when I'm on the beach, you know, wearing not very many clothes. I don't, you know, I find that a huge invasion of my privacy.